check. All right, check one, check two. This is it. Welcome to the Cannabis Coffee Hour. I have a very special episode with a great guest, a legend in New York. Tommy from the Cutting Den has been cutting my hair in Brooklyn Heights. This place, the Cutting Den, is historic. Now, Tommy, and it's LaMarca, right? LaMarca. Tommy LaMarca. Tommy, I just know him as Tommy.
That's all.
That's all.
That's right.
Tommy has been here for over 30 years. His dad opened this place.
50 years.
50 years?
Almost.
It was 1926. Or when
My grandfather opened. 1926.
1926, right here in Brooklyn Heights, one of the oldest neighborhoods, one of the original hipster neighborhoods. I moved in this neighborhood right when I moved to New York, and I got to know Tommy. I moved away, but I always come back for his haircuts. How you doing, Tommy?
Very good. Excellent.
Welcome to the Cannabis Coffee Hour.
Cannabis Coffee Hour. Great.
You like coffee, my man.
I do.
I don't want to get you on record about your cannabis ideas.
Cannabis, yes, to keep my pains away.
Keep your pains away.
You rub it on all the time.
Rub it on all the time. That's what I've been saying, is that the cannabis movement will be from the over 40 crowd, the biggest crowd, because of knees and joints. But we're not here to talk about cannabis too much. I don't want to get you in trouble. Even though it's widely legal everywhere, and they're smoking it literally on the church steps outside. But we're going to get a haircut done, right, Tommy?
We're going to do your hair now.
All right.
We're going to do your hair right now.
We're doing the hair. Tommy, I'm going to let him do his magic. I'm going to talk a little bit, and we're going to just hang out like I hang out at the barbershop with Tommy. But this place has been here. It's actually a part of this really old hotel that had a saltwater pool. So this was like a vacation spot for Manhattanites in the 40s and 50s. And it was actually kind of like the very first hipster neighborhood in terms of artists and authors and musicians. Tommy has cut Truman Capote's hair.
Yes.
Yes, he has.
Yeah, and right. My father cut Arthur Miller, Norman Mailer, James Dean.
James Dean, I didn't know that one. Yes,
Yeah,
your
my
father,
yes.
Giuseppe.
Joseph. Yeah,
Joseph.
Giuseppe, my grandfather.
Got it.
So James Dean came to go to the pool, and he was in the active studio in Manhattan. So my father told me he came in, got a haircut, and then you were allowed to smoke. So he asked my father for a cigarette. So my father was cutting his hair with James Dean had a cigarette dangling out of his mouth. So if you had a camera then, like you have now, it would be a historic picture.
Well, I do have a joint, but maybe I don't want
You
to.
don't want me to cut your hair, do you?
Yeah. But yeah, so James Dean
Right.
came in, and this place was kind of like the cool place to hang out. And
Yeah, he was going to the pool.
it's going to the saltwater pool, which feels good on the skin. And he came through. And this place, if you're ever here and you need a good quality haircut, I don't care about all these new fancy dancy stuff. You got to come to the Cutting Den, because this is just years and years of hair being cut here, and
And a lot of stories.
And a lot of stories.
Plenty of stories, yeah.
Oh,
So,
wow.
They made the scene from The Godfather in the hotel, in the bar.
Wow.
Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yes.
Which scene in the guard? Oh, so I guess is when he was meeting him. Or which scene was
The
it?
scene was Lou Gabrazzi got an ice pick in his hand at the bar.
Oh, wow.
So that was the first Godfather, and they brought him in to get a haircut and shave here. So he came in.
You're
got a
talking
haircut.
Marlon Brando came in.
Not Marlon Brando.
Which one?
Lou Gabrazzi.
Who was Luca Brasi? Which one was he?
He was the actor in The Godfather. Hey.
But I'm just trying to think of the actor's name. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I know exactly who you're talking about. So he came in during the filming?
After the filming.
Oh, after the filming. Brilliant.
But he was a cool guy, nice guy, funny, talkative. So some of my other customers brought him in because they were involved with the movie. So they brought him in here to get a haircut, and we did that. Talked to him, took pictures with him, and that's it. And Truman used to come in here 3 times a week.
Oh, wow.
He used to get a shave and a facial and a sun lamp because he used to go to the pool, the saltwater famous pool.
Mm-hmm.
So he used to come in, he would get a shave, a facial, and a sun lamp 3 times a week. And he was a little peculiar because the way he would pay you, he would go in his pocket, pull out the dollar bills, crinkle them up, and put them on the counter.
Just kind of like whatever I got in my hand right now.
Yeah. So he gave my coworker Rocco Scally a first edition autographed in cold blood book.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
He liked Rocco.
Yes, he did.
Oh, wow. I knew Rocco. Rocco was great.
Yeah.
That was your buddy.
Yes.
That had been cutting hair with you.
Before me.
Before
He worked with my
you.
grandfather.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Tommy, this is you're too kind to be sharing these stories. I appreciate it. Now, did they have coffee here? Did you ever have an espresso machine here?
Here,
In the spot?
no, we didn't have coffee machine.
But you had sun lamps.
Sun lamps we had, yes.
And they would actually give you a tan, the sun
Give
lamps?
you a little reddish color.
They would just...
So it was ultraviolet lamps, so you would put some cocoa butter on and use the lamp for 1 minute only, and you get a little color. So you didn't look like you were stuck in winter here all year long. Looked like you came from Florida.
And then I also read that Truman would get a mud bath as well, or a mud facial. Mud pack. What is a mud pack?
Well, it was green. This mud pack was green. So you put it, it's like a clay. You put it on your face, and it gets hard. It takes all the pores, cleans them out, and tightens your skin a little. So he used to get that like every week.
Oh, I could use one of those. You don't have any of the green mud around?
Green mud, I think I still have some.
You get. Maybe we should get that into the podcast. But I appreciate you doing my hair. My hair is a mess, but you always seem to be able to handle it. It's curly, it's frizzy.
Curly hair I could deal with. Curly hair is very easy for me.
Oh, what is the technique with curly hair to cut?
Well, the technique would be you have to feel it, and you know exactly how it curls and how much to cut, because you don't like it a lot off. You like a little bit off, right?
Yeah, like a little bit off, but
And texturize.
texturize.
And you like it to look long, but it's not long.
Yeah, that's
So
my
that's
look.
the key.
The only thing now is I want it a little bit shorter, but I am getting a little bit of a bald spot going, a
Yeah.
little bit. He said yes. So I'm trying not to
We're not going to do that.
yes.
I'm gonna leave some hair over there.
leave some hair over
I
there.
can't do transplants for you.
No
I don't have a license.
Yeah. I'm not getting the plugs. If it goes, it goes. I had a lot of fun in my youth, so I'm not worried too much. And if it goes, it goes. But I do know that when I grow it out, it seems to grow more. Everything.
Oh, yeah.
When I let it go, it kind of.
It's like Einstein. Look.
Yeah, it gets.
Einstein.
Yeah, it covers everything. There's no holes or anything, but it's just a big hot mess during the summer. Oh, this looks great, Tommy. You're killing it. So, Tommy, you also cut Marky Ramon's hair. Can you tell us that story?
Ramon brothers, yes. He came in here with a rock wig, and he wanted to trim his new wig and keep it punky. So we would cut his hair regular, and then we would put his rock wig on, and he didn't want to be here. So I had to take him. I had another shop, a beauty shop on Pineapple Walk, and I had a private room. So I had to take him into the private room. And this way he didn't want to be disturbed or
Yeah,
harassed.
putting his Ramon wig on. What was his regular hair? Was just like short hair?
No, it was average hair.
Average hair.
Normal length. But he was a nice guy. I used to talk to him a lot about. He used to talk to me about stocks, investing, and he lived around the neighborhood.
Yeah, he did live here. I seen there's a car wash over on like 4th Avenue that I go to, and they have a big thing signed by Mark. I guess he used to go to that car wash.
Yes, he did.
The Golden Touch is what it's called. It's on 4th Ave, and he has a big signature there. So he must have rolled his Cadillac. Once he got his wigs powdered over here, once he got his wigs all powdered, he took his Cadillac over there and got it washed.
But he was a cool guy, funny guy, nice guy, down to earth. He was normal.
Normal.
Like he came from Brooklyn. One of the average, normal guys.
Yeah.
Like you are.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Tommy. Like you are.
Yeah.
People.
I was born in Crown Heights, so.
Yeah. Crown Heights. Oh, I was just over there. That place is wild. I got a great vegan Jamaican patty from a real Jamaican spot. And I got some rice and peas. And I got it all for like under $7. And it was super healthy, super authentic Jamaican. But that's Crown Heights. It's like Hasidic and Jamaican. It's the wildest combination on this planet Earth.
Yes. They have Lubavitch there on Eastern Parkway. And going down toward Empire Boulevard are all Lubavitch. So they were...
What is that?
What?
I don't know what a Lubavitch is.
Lubavitch are a religious organization.
Oh, that's
Jewish.
That's a old school Jew. Yeah, old school.
They're mostly Russian backed, and they're nice guys. I deal with them all the time. They're very nice.
Yeah, I like the vibe over there. For some reason, it made sense.
Lincoln Terrace, because I used to hang out in Lincoln Terrace Park on Eastern Parkway and Rochester Avenue.
Oh, I'll go check it out. I bet they have a pull-up bar.
Maybe. I don't know what they have now.
Did you? What would you do at the park? Would you do pull-ups? Would you play basketball? Will you?
Basketball, baseball.
Yeah, baseball, basketball, or kind of round. And so you were Crown Heights, Brooklyn official, born over there, and then your dad ran this great haircut salon or haircut spot, barbershop, cool barbershop. They even got the blue water with the blue combs. I don't trust, if they don't have the blue water, I don't trust the place. You're in trouble. You got to have the blue water with the blue combs, and you got to have, he's got a great selection of magazines. I always talk, we always talk about New York stuff, and he always tells me great stories.
I'll tell you another story. One of my customers was he lived around here. He was an Olympic swimmer.
Yes.
And he used to go into the pool. He used to swim laps there, and he told me he used to go in the pool and swim with Buster Crabbe and Johnny Weissmuller, original Tarzan.
Oh, shoot. Tarzan was swimming over there.
Yes.
It's all about the salt water. There's something good. That's why all these actors and writers, the salt water just gets into your pores and it burns out all. New York is just so gritty and greasy, so your skin just gets beat up. But when you got a saltwater pool,
it's great.
It's great.
Feels good. And it's just like the ocean. You go in the ocean to get rid of pains and your arthritis and your ankles and your joints, and you feel better when you come out.
I know. There's something about swimming in the ocean that cleans out all my sinuses. I just love that seawater, that salt water, and all that funk just comes out of my face. I'm a big fan of Rockaway Beach. My buddy has opened up a little pizza spot right on Shawnee's Slices. If you're ever out at Rockaway Beach, it's right where they rent all the surfboards, and there's like a kiosk of like.
Yes.
I got to check out. He has wood. It's wood oven pizza.
Oh, wood oven.
Wood
That's
oven.
very good.
Yeah, very good pizza. Like he's from Rockaway. He was a DJ. He actually produced and was tour management for a bunch of bands that I knew. But a great guy, and he helped me with my first podcast, but he opened a pizza slice place over there, and it's amazing. I'm going to do a podcast from there as well.
Yeah, he must do well in the summer, right? He must do well.
Yeah, he gears up the whole time for the summer, and he pops up other places, but then the summer they have it locked down. Yeah, they're going all day and all night over there. And I'm very excited for him. It's a small business. Support small businesses, especially in New York, especially legacy businesses like Tommy here at the Cutting Den. These guys are the reason that New York is so cool.
We stay. We're stable. We stay here forever. We don't leave. We don't run away to Florida and move. We stay here and deal with whatever we have to deal with.
And it's always changing.
Everything will come back to normal again.
Yeah.
Right?
It always does. Everything's reciprocal and going around. Like I was telling you, I did a show up in the Poconos, and I'm doing this Catskills. It seems like stand-up comedy is going back to the Boy Chavel days here in New York, which Tommy knows all about. Any of the old school New Yorkers know what that's all about. A lot of Brooklyn comedians running around, even since the 40s and 50s, we're doing these gigs. And then spots like this. But so...
I think you're just about done.
I love it. Let's take a look. Oh, wow. Love it. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. This is the hardest head of hair to cut.
Yeah,
I've walked...
Yeah. They could damage your hand 1 second.
1 second, and you go straight... Tommy uses instinct.
Yeah.
Instinct. As I know, as somebody that's done something for a long time, it goes beyond technique and it goes into feel.
Now I'll give you the other part of it. This here.
Oh, he's got this. He's breaking out the straight razor. You got to trust a man that's going to use a straight razor, but he's going to use a straight razor on my neck. There he is. He's got the lava.
And we're going to use it like we shaved Truman Capote's his face.
Oh yeah, I could use a little if you. I think I did a shave yesterday. I had a show last night, Tommy, and I cleaned up for it. It was at this small place in Park South Slope called Young Ethel's, but they're starting to do comedy and music, and I just did a Wednesday show there. It's called 1972, which is the year I was born. Do you remember the year 1972?
Yes, I do.
That was an important year because it was coming out of the 60s. They said some of the best music albums came out that year. Where were you in 1972, Tommy?
I was working here. That's where I was.
Were you in your 20s or 30s?
Then I was in my 20s.
In 1972, 20s, in Brooklyn Heights, cutting hair, right after that. The 60s was more Truman Capote, am I right?
Yes, 60. He was here in the 70s too.
He was.
70s, yes.
Yes. What do you remember about 72 or like the early 70s of New York? Was it scary here in Brooklyn Heights?
Brooklyn Heights? No, it wasn't scary here.
No, it wasn't
Not
scary
here. I meant a lot of people at night. They couldn't walk down the Dumbo like you could walk now.
Yes.
Because then you wouldn't survive. If you wanted to walk down in Dumbo in the 70s, you wouldn't survive.
And yeah, tell us all about now. I just want to say we're right here. All the movie stars are now, I think, are moving to Brooklyn Heights. They're moving into these big condos that are here, and they're beautiful. There's a great park that's right on the water that has an awesome basketball court, clean, great bathrooms. Shout out to the Brooklyn Heights big park by the water. But why I'm saying that used to be the docks. Am I right?
The waterfront, yes. All the ships used to pull in, and the waterfront used to be live, like Marlon Brando walking on the waterfront.
On the waterfront, and this was the shipping business, which is one of the oldest businesses. That's how countries became countries, was like these goods coming in from these ships, and this was the big port.
Yes, it was.
This is the big port. I was going to put this is a New York brand, just like...
Oh, there we go.
just like James Dean did, but I won't fire this up. But this is actually very legal, B Noble, and this is a great company, Jam Master Jay's companies, with this cannabis company, but it's great. But we were talking about, I just wanted to talk about the shipping and the docks, and how crazy was it down? Did you ever go down? Did you know guys that worked the
They
docks?
used to come here all the time. All the guys from the waterfront used to come here.
So that was like a good, if you weren't doing college, because I grew up in the South, and I do remember the 80s, and there was a factory that everybody worked after
Right.
high school. You could get a good job at the factory.
Right.
And skip college, and you start raising a family, or you're in your 20s, and you go to the local bar and drink and fight, and that's.
They lived in mostly Cobble Hill, South Brooklyn. That's where they lived mostly, all of them.
All of them. So all of those guys, all the dock workers would down in Cobble Hill.
Right.
Would those be Italian? Who all worked at the dock?
Mostly Italian.
Mostly Italian.
Yes.
Worked the shipping business. Worked all that.
Yeah, the container ships, and there were checkers, and they worked the ships, and they lived there, so they didn't have to travel far.
They didn't have to travel. Yeah, and it was an easy gig.
Yeah, easy commute.
But they were kind of tough guys, right? At night, like there's a lot of dead bodies probably hidden from the mafia and stuff down there.
That I don't know.
Yeah, Tommy doesn't want to. I think Tommy might know some. Every old school New Yorker, I try not to dig a little too deep. But that's what I heard is like, yeah, that. Oh, I don't know if that's right, but it's just like one of those industries that has disappeared, much like the automotive industry in Michigan. Like it seems like it almost it fed, it clothed,
And it reopened. Yeah, it did reopen.
But it did reopen, and businesses come and go, and that's just how it is. But I always thought it was kind of gritty on the waterfront, and it was right down here.
Oh, it was great. A lot of guys. They were funny guys.
Yeah.
Guys.
What's that?
They were hard, tough guys.
Yeah.
You couldn't fool around with them. They were real New Yorkers.
Yeah, New York is amazing. Tommy, you're a real New Yorker, and I appreciate your time, and I don't want to take too much time. We're at 23 minutes. I try to make these around 45, but I won't press you too hard because you are a real New Yorker, and you don't have time to be messing around with podcast kids. But you stay here. You've been here. You were born here. You'll stay here.
I'm never moving.
You're never moving. Even with all the change that is going on in New York, you're just still like...
No, I can't leave. Wherever you go, it's boring to me. There's no action going on. I mean, you need a car for everything. Over here, you don't need a car.
You don't need a car.
Right. So you could travel by subway or the ferry, the new ferry lines they have, the new waterways. It's very convenient because I live in Staten Island, so... My stepdaughter went to the Javits Center, and she picked up a fast ferry.
Yes.
On the west side. That's new, brand new, from Staten Island.
And just zipped over here, and it's like a free water trip. I think
No, you pay $275.
$275, but it's like a good, nice boat.
Right.
And you're just literally flying over here, and you don't have to deal with traffic. You don't have to deal with anything. Yeah, that was one of the reasons I do love New York, is walking around. And it is keeping me healthy and young as a dude that was born in 1972. I did 30,000 steps yesterday.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Equal, how many miles is that?
I don't, maybe like 5 or 4?
Yeah.
Probably about
That's
4.
good.
I did 2 days. I didn't want to. My wife was painting our bedroom, so I was kicked out of the house. I was literally living homeless out in the streets of New York.
Kicked you out.
I was kicked out. I grabbed a stick of deodorant and put it in my backpack.
She was a painter?
Yeah, she was painting. No, she had these 2 dudes that were in there painting. And so my whole world got thrown out, and then I got thrown out into the streets. But at the same time...
Plenty of things to do in the street there.
I know there's plenty of things to do, and I was actually saying, like, I was glad. It was beautiful. It's been beautiful weather, so I went to Prospect Park. I rode. I checked emails. I did all of that. I just walked all over the city. Visited a couple friends. It's just how it is. It keeps you young, wouldn't you say?
All the time. When you walk and keep active, you're always staying young. So that's why I'm going to stay here forever.
Yeah.
They're going to bury me from here. They're going to take me out in a coffin. Unless the owners raise the rent too much, then we have to escape.
No, they got to put a historical landmark right here at Clark Street Station. This is actually a part of the subway station.
You see that cash register? That's my grandfather's.
Oh wow!
In 1926.
That thing looks like 500 pounds to lift.
You can't lift it.
You can't lift it because look at these things.
You can, and it still rings. You know, you press it. I'm going to press it.
Yeah. You still ring this thing up for me all the time.
Look.
Oh, hold on, Tommy. Let me get a good shot here. Oh, perfect.
It never broke.
Never broke. Always works. And you can't steal that. It's too heavy.
Too heavy to lift.
It's like nearly.
Chairs. Like, try to lift those chairs. You can't.
You can't.
They're like 300-400 pounds.
Instant hernia is happening if you try to steal these chairs. And the barber chairs are the most comfortable chairs in the world.
People want to buy them, so.
What is the brand of this barber chair?
Belmont.
The Belmont. Is that the Mercedes-Benz?
It's like 1940. That's they're from.
Oh my God. So Truman Capote may have sat in this chair.
James Dean sat in that chair.
James Dean sat in this chair.
Capote sat in that chair.
Oh wow.
Miller.
All the best, right? And now, podcaster Rob Cantrell. I wrote a book on getting high and watching movies. But I love the arts here in New York, and that's why I'm here, is doing comedy and pressing forward and raising a family and smoking legal cannabis and evolving. But Tommy, we were all talking right before you had another customer, and I was like, how long have you been seeing Tommy? He said 35 years. And these guys were talking about AI technology. These guys are on it.
AI.
What do you think of AI technology, Tommy?
AI is the greatest thing going, especially for medical. They're going to be able to cure cancer before you even get it. They'll know your body's going to get cancer, and they'll have the medicine to stop it. AI is the greatest thing going.
That's from a smart that's from a smart New Yorker, and he's not afraid of AI. I'm a little bit afraid, but I think you're 100% right.
For the medical field.
Yeah, for the medical field, to check your cholesterol, check your blood, check everything.
Be able to research and see if you're susceptible to get cancer. I read that.
Wow.
So it'll stop it.
You hear? Yeah. Go ahead.
It'll stop you from getting cancer because it'll have the drugs to prevent it from entering your body.
This is, Mark Cuban was talking about AI. He was like the millionaire. Yeah, and he was talking about how everybody's talking about AI is going to change everything, like in terms of.
They don't use it in the military.
Yeah, no, but he was going to say about medical fields changing. Financial field's going to be changing. Science is going to be changing. Technology is going to be changing rapidly. But people like Tommy, this is real stuff. The instinct, AI can't capture that. He was saying that there's going to be a need for liberal arts degrees. Like AI is pretty much just, rethinking of all the information that's possible. People that are more authentic and have something new to say and new ideas is where it's going to come from for the human aspect. I think it's going to pop up. Instead of everybody being so cookie cutter, the people that are real are going to stand out.
You have to see the future, and that's the future. You have to always go forward. You can't go backwards.
That's the truth.
It's like they got rid of the waterfront, and they put a beautiful park there. So you keep going forward.
Keep going forward, and change is inevitable, and I always get frustrated and angry about change, but usually it works out if you don't freak out too hard about it, and that's what cool, calm New York, like Tommy's so cool and calm here, and he just has this sweet little shop that's in the Clark Street Station. I've seen billions of businesses come and go, but Tommy is still here doing his thing. I appreciate you, sir. Do you want to say anything out to the universe?
Universe?
Speak into the mic, Tommy. We're signing off.
The universe, just can't look forward and don't look backwards. You got to keep going forward all the time. Don't get discouraged, because if you keep going, it'll come true. Whatever you're thinking about, think forward. not backwards. Going backward is in reverse, and you don't want to go in reverse. Reverse is no good. Not for the world, not for anybody.
That's the truth. That is the truth, and that's something I've learned in New York, especially with driving. I always have to worry about what's directly in front of me, and that's what I'm doing more and more in life, is worrying what's directly in front of me immediately, because these big issues are so big in the technology, and it can really cloud up everything. But yeah, you're right. Don't look back, look forward. It's always changing, but also celebrate the classics. Like you, Tommy. So I appreciate you.
Right.
All right, that's it for the Cannabis Coffee Hour. What's that?
No, you didn't. When I use a razor, I didn't give you a shave like in Sweeney Todd. We have some students upstairs. There's a dormitory upstairs, and a lot of them go to New York School of Dramatic Arts. So I pull out the razor and I start strapping it, and I ask them, "Did you see the movie Sweeney Todd?" And then they start laughing.
It's gonna cut him. Yeah. Thank you, Tommy. I appreciate the razor. I appreciate the stories about James Dean and your dad. Give it up for your dad, just being here, and and Marky Ramon here at the Cutting Den. Here at the Cutting Den with Tommy LaMarca, right? LaMarca, Tommy LaMarca. Don't ever forget it. Tommy LaMarca, Cutting Den, New York forever. I love you. Peace. We did it, man.